So Garrett, what are the core elements that go into a completed PPAP package?
Absolutely. So if we're looking at something like a level 3 PPAP, and which is the bread and butter that we're doing at our facility here, you're going to start with a PSW. That's the part submission warrant that we talked about on the previous with all the levels. Part submission warrant is going to detail the part number, the drawing that it is referenced from, the cavities that the tooling is using, the run rates. A lot of details are on that part submission warrant. From there, we're gonna see something like a design record, right? That's agreement to the current revision levels and any specific engineering drawing changes that may impact the end product. We're also gonna see what's called a PFMEA, or a process failure mode and effects analysis. And that is put together by the production team to determine if the wrong material is used, how does that impact the quality of the goods? If the wrong tools are used for measurement, it's essentially fail proofing the process and having steps to go back and redo things depending on which failures occur. You'll also see a control plan, which is going to outline from start to bottom how the production facility handles every step of the production process. We'll also typically see MSA, which is a measurement system analysis, right? So we're looking at gauge R&R, which is reliability and repeatability. And that can sometimes look like three different engineers measuring the same goods using the same tools and recording their inspection data. And that allows you to see how reliable the factory's gauges are and how reliable uh, their testing methodology is. And then, of course, dimensional results, right? That's probably one of the most important things because you want to make sure that all the dimensions specified on the drawing are being measured and met. Then, of course, we'll see something like material and performance testing, right? This could look just like a typical spec sheet, or it could also be some additional testing that is done based on the requirements of the print. Maybe this part needs to be exposed to ozone. So there are documents embedded in the PPAP that detail how the part deals with ozone. You'll also see process capability studies. So that's like CPK, which again is taking like a critical dimension, measuring it a bunch of times, and then you're going to see how reliable the tool is in keeping that dimension within the expected tolerances. And then finally, of course, the most important thing, physical parts, right? There are cases where we'll send a level 1 PPAP, maybe for goods that the customer already has, but in almost every single case, we're we're building a tool, we're putting together a PPAP, and we're sending samples from that tool, so the customer can measure their own samples and put them through testing.
All right. And so in most cases, is every element of that package included in the package, or are there times where it's just bits and pieces of that and it depends on the part and or customer?
Now, occasionally it will be piecemealed like that, but what I just detailed is a standard for a level 3. Standard for sure. Now, the customer can always add more to that, but typically it's not common that you see less.